Hello and good afternoon to everyone that is currently tuning in live with us on another episode of Phillip Trading Podcast. I'm your host for today and my name is Trent. With me here today is my colleague Liao, a dealer and marketing executive from Phillip Futures. How are you today, Liao?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, good to hear that. So for today's podcast, we'll be discussing the topic embracing the metaverse. So to our audiences out there who are currently investing in US tech stocks or interested to invest in US tech stocks, do not miss out this podcast. Once again, I would like the help of all our beloved audience today to share this video to all your friends. The more people that are watching this video, the more we are motivated to deliver greater content to all of you. So without further ado, let's jump into our topic for today, embracing the metaverse. Metaverse had been under the spotlight since Facebook announced its ambitious plan in building its own virtual universe. So Liao, to our audiences that are not following closely the latest development, can you describe more on the concept of metaverse and its potential?
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Trent. Yes. So, Metaverse, it has become a very hot topic since Facebook announced that the company will change their name to Meta. So they are venturing into the new technology called Metaverse. So what is the Metaverse? Literally, it means beyond the universe. So it's a new concept built around the internet, supported by persistent online 3D virtual environment through traditional personal computing, as well as the virtual and augmented reality headsets. So according to Facebook, it's called Meta now. In the metaverse, you'll be able to do almost anything from getting together with friends and family, work, learn, play, and shop. It's a combination of multiple elements of technology, including the virtual reality, augmented reality, and video, where users live in a digital universe. So in this virtual world, everyone will have their own avatar or hologram, and they can live in that virtual world to do everything that we are already doing in the real world. And also they can do things beyond what we can do in the real world. So although the aspects of the metaverse are currently exist, like the ultra fast broadband, the VR headset, and AR application, for metaverse to go mainstream, it might take another 5 to 10 years to develop. So what are the potential from metaverse? So as the metaverse, it's a combination of multiple aspects of technology. It is highly dependent on VR and AR hardware. And also it has its own application in different aspects in the virtual world, such as the workplace, gaming, education, social events, and travel. It will be built around an ecosystem on its own. So therefore, let's take a look at the VR and AR aspects. So to be immersed in the metaverse, we'll need the hardware to build around the ecosystem. The first would be the VR headset. So according to New York Times, Meta has a reality labs division in charge of VR headsets and the AR glasses. The reality labs division is continuing to develop hardware for us to fully experience in the metaverse. So far, they have products like the Oculus Quest, of another VR headset, which was successfully launched with low price. Whereas for the AR, Meta had released their Ray-Ban smart glasses, which is a connected eyewear with built-in speakers and a microphone for making calls. Although the smart glasses is mainly for photos and videos sharing at this point, it will be part of the metaverse in the future with AI features and bring AR in a daily wearable device. Also, recently, Meta has also done a lot in the research and development in haptic gloves, which is a prototype gloves that can track humans' hand movement with the properties of virtual objects in the metaverse. So with the launching of these haptic gloves in the future, the ecosystem of metaverse can be more all-rounded. So in short, there's a huge potential in the hardware around the metaverse, from wearable devices and supporting devices. Morgan Stanley, the investment bank, sees the metaverse as an 8 trillion US dollar market. So the application of Metaverse can apply in smartphone, gaming, fitness, workplace, education, entertainment, commerce, and so on. So with your virtual identity, you can achieve more in the virtual world. So you can interact with friends virtually in the same space, attending a concert that is far away from you and so on. Whereas for workplace, you can actually have discussion with your team in a visual way. So Metaverse can be applied to all aspects in our daily lives, and there will be more third parties participate in this universe. So yeah, so there will be more participant, whether in the software or hardware in the Metaverse.
Yes, sounds quite exciting to me. So for our next question, as many tech companies are racing to implement Metaverse, what are the criteria to filter out potential good companies?
Okay, so when it comes to selecting good companies in the Metaverse, we need to look at the current stage of the companies. So it is best if that particular company is already being part of the Metaverse ecosystem, whether it's in the hardware or software. So for example, companies like Unity, who creates video game engine that the Metaverse could use to build the virtual world. Another company called Seagate, one of the largest hard drive manufacturers, is also good to be used for Metaverse cloud storage. So next, we also need to justify the research and development capital that the company can commit to develop and build the infrastructure for Metaverse, with billions of dollars in the space of, let's say, 10 years before the Metaverse can be brought into mainstream. And lastly, we could also take a look at the company's footprint in the microchips sector, whether they have powerful chip provision to cater the huge usage in the Metaverse. So yeah, we do not want to invest in a company that currently do not have any involvement in the Metaverse.
Yes, indeed, investors have to choose wisely on their companies that they want to invest. Okay, so based on the criteria that we mentioned earlier, which company do you think have good investment potential?
Okay, so we are looking at the so-called Metaverse stocks. So of course, the first company that have a good investment potential is, of course, the company who created the Metaverse itself. So yeah, in this case, it's Meta. So first of all, the social media division of Meta, Facebook, is the largest social media company with billions of users, and its Oculus VR headsets also have a leading market share. At the same time, Meta platforms already have plans and investment relating to the Metaverse. So this makes Meta one of the best companies to invest. And also, as mentioned earlier, Meta had bought the VR hardware maker Oculus in 2014, which is now the leader in this market. And the company also introduced Ray-Ban smart glasses this year. And they also launched Horizon Workrooms in August 2021 this year. So the Horizon Workrooms is a VR space for teams to connect, collaborate, and develop ideas together by using the Oculus Quest 2 VR headset. So the collaborative workspaces in the Metaverse definitely have lots of potential, considering the gradual shift away from physical office due to the pandemic. So looking ahead, Meta also plans to invest $10 billion in the AR and VR business known as the Facebook Reality Labs this year. So, and the Facebook Reality Labs will be recognized as a new business or operating segment starting in fourth quarter this year. Okay. So the next company we are looking at is NVIDIA. So NVIDIA is one of the Meta stocks. It's a producer for graphics and video processing chips for high-end computing and AI. NVIDIA chips play an important role in supplying the massive amount of processing power the Metaverse will need. Plus, NVIDIA is also creating their own Metaverse platform called Omniverse, which is an open platform built for connecting the connecting 3D worlds into an integrated virtual universe. It is a virtual collaboration and real-time physical accurate simulation which allows participants to collaborate in a virtual space. The Omniverse has a wide range of enterprise applications, from design collaboration, simulation of real-world architecture to tools for training robots. And the third company we are looking at is the Microsoft. So Microsoft would continue to dominate the enterprise and institutional sector in the metaverse space. Microsoft owns AR devices such as the HoloLens headsets, which many companies and institutions are using it in various industries such as manufacturing, healthcare, and education with decent results. Even the US Army would like to try their HoloLens to be used in one of the US Army units. So Microsoft also announced that they will be introducing a mixed reality platform for Microsoft Teams next year to enable users appear as digital representation of themselves. This is an important step for Microsoft ambitions to expand in the enterprise metaverse space, and will also help to increase the demand for HoloLens headsets. Okay, so let's talk about some gaming company. So the fourth company we look at is Roblox. So before Meta brought its Metaverse into the spotlight, Roblox is already operating their game as a human co-experience platform. It has an online entertainment platform that may be the closest thing to an existing social metaverse today. The company is powered by millions of global developers community who produce their own immersive multiplayer experience using Roblox Studio. It also continues to rank as one of the top online entertainment platforms for young audience. It has a dynamic growth in young users, which could have more potential in embracing the metaverse in the gaming industry. Another bullish act from the industry is that recently Nike has announced their digital space called Nike Land, where the players can wear Nike products in their avatar on Roblox. Okay. So these are the four companies that we talk about today that have good investment potential as metaverse stock.
So let's see how this company will perform in the coming next few years. So for our next question, as most tech companies currently have high valuations, do you foresee that Metaverse will cause another bubble in the stock market?
Yes, there is no question stocks are now very expensive than they were before the pandemic. So all of this was supported by the recent good corporate earnings released during these low interest rate times. So based on the current interest rates, the market looks reasonably valued, but not cheap. So for tech companies, we would see their valuations being adjusted down where the interest rate goes up. The fluctuations in corporate earnings in every quarter would also affect stock prices, just like we have seen in the past few years. So in the past few years, there were rapid sell-offs that act like a mini bubble burst. Therefore, chances are that we may be seeing a continually formation and popping of mini bubbles all the time, just like what we have seen in Apple and Amazon. Both were down nearly 20% from the highs in early February this year. So if you had bought these stocks at that time, it certainly felt like bubbles popping, even though the overall indexes were only down a few points. So back to Metaverse, the current development of this technology still has a long way to go to bring the whole Metaverse ecosystem into the mature stage. Just like the NFT and decentralized finance, they are currently still in very early stage. So if the Metaverse economy failed to prosper in the future, tech companies like Metaverse stocks would still have the usual streams of business income. So all in all, if there's a bubble in the stock market, I reckon it will not be due to the Metaverse, but it will be due to the rise in interest rate. Yeah, back to you.
Okay, thank you for your sharing, and I hope it will help the new investors out there. And to our audience who are interested to invest in US tech stocks, you can now trade NYSE and NASDAQ stock CFD with Phillip Futures. With a margin of as low as 10%, investors with smaller capital can now invest in US tech stocks. And also these stocks are bi-directional trading. So you can investors can actually long or short the market that they want to trade. So for more details, you can drop us a message on Facebook and our representative will get back to you. And now we have come to an end for today's podcast. If you have any questions or any topics you want us to discuss next week, you can message us in the comment box below. Uh, thank you for listening to our podcast and happy trading for the week. Thank you for your time too, Liao.
Thank you.